Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing banking and effectively surveillance of banking transactions here in the Kingdom of Thailand. I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. Article is titled, "Does Thailand Really Want Humble Expats Anymore?" Quoting directly, "It's worth recording," and I urge those, before I get into this, I urge those who are watching this video, go check out that article in detail. As usual, many articles from the Pattaya Mail, very, very insightful, so I urge those who are watching this video, go check out that article. Quoting directly, "It's worth recording that Thailand is one of around 140 countries which have agreed to share with each other international banking transactions of individuals under the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which opposes tax havens and money laundering." Well, first thing I would note, Thailand has never been a tax haven. You know, this whole notion that we need to be doing all of this extra stuff, like, for example, the surveillance measures on transferring money to people now in Thailand are just getting ridiculous. And I'm sure it's a byproduct of the OECD. I have no doubt. You know, meanwhile, sort of off in the background, BRICS is saying, hey, Thailand, come join BRICS. So I wonder what Thailand's going to do if it sort of takes the middle path and adopts both. What are we going to end up with, the tyrannical systems of both of these outsider entities? I would much rather see Thailand just handle its own banking matters nationally and stop caring about what outsiders think or say about how our banking system works. Okay, rant over on that one. You know, that said, yeah, I think more banking surveillance is going to be likely. And look, these countries share this information with one another through this harmonization, through this platform, if you will, of the OECD of sharing this information. And it's one of those things where they're sort of all, if you will, at a nation state level, they're kind of all ganging up on the taxpayers of the world, if you will. I love this whole notion of opposing tax havens and money laundering. First of all, you know, with the notion of money laundering, that phrase, that has been one of the most effectively propagandized terms I think I have ever seen. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, even like the notion of the war on drugs is sort of laughed at in things and satirized, but the term money laundering, which came about as a byproduct of the so-called war on drugs, is looked at as something totally legitimate. And I don't find it to be totally legitimate. I do believe people have a right to hide things. I believe people have a right to privacy and not having every little transaction that they, you know, conduct be monitored, if you will, or whatever. Meanwhile, back to the notion of money laundering, that whole term was created in 1987. And if you really think about the whole notion, it's the government saying that they have a right, if you will, or a vested interest in being a nanny minder of how you move your own money around. You know, again, I don't necessarily agree that hiding money having to do with illicit activities, I get it. I get that there is some form of state interest associated with that. But the lengths to which they've gone against people that are just trying to live, you know, to quote the Blues Brothers, live, drive, and survive. I mean, the lengths to which they've gone are just ridiculous at this point. I mean, all of this totalitarian surveillance, now they want cashless everywhere, and they want to be able to see all the banking transactions. I mean, come on. Why? Just for your own desire to be a nanny minder? I'm just not buying that there's a bunch of people running around out there, you know, day after day committing tons and tons of illicit transactions and laundering money. Again, money laundering simply means moving your own money around in a way the government doesn't like.